Now we've come to the point in architecture where the thing is one with nature, one with the materials of which the building is built, and a building where you can ask why concerning everything in it and get a good answer from the building itself.
At this point, we are now owner, builder, general contractor.
Congratulations.
Yay!
We've had some great days.
I go left. Look at her smiling.
And we've had days that all I want to do is crawl back into bed and cry.
Steel's not coming.
Why not?
The truck broke. We've had actually a pretty mild winter, and we were able to get all the footers in, get the steel in, as well as the subroof. So we've gotten ourselves a structure. We need to figure out what materials we are going to use for our roof. And we have to source our stone and then make sure that we get the color on the red floor right. We're getting ready to do what I call the skin of the house. And it's really quite a bit of pressure because this is what people are gonna see.
It's time to move forward with some of these other decisions. Are you confident yet to take that reign?
No, you're not getting off the hook that easy.
Okay.
So you better take a nap. All of these decisions keep me up at night or wake me up in the middle of the night. It's the last thing I think of before I go to bed. It's the first thing I think of when I get up in the morning. We're just gonna go ahead and push forward. In my normal work life, I don't necessarily go outside in the morning before I start work. However, I have grown to like getting up and going out there, whether it's right when the guys get there, before the guys get there, and it's super quiet. It's kind of become a habit now.
She's cleaning up the pile she should have cleaned up yesterday. That's what she's doing.
So this will be the front door. You'll walk in and take a step down onto the landing. And then there'll be cabinets here for coats and such. And then there'll be 6 steps down, which they haven't done yet. And this was just poured on Friday, and I'm not feeling very confident about the room we have left. In our floor, we have 3 layers. We have the subfloor, which is concrete, and then what we call air floor. And that air floor system is basically radiant heat that makes a grid on top of the subfloor. And then on top of that, we'll put the red finished floor. I thought we were gonna have about 6 inches at the top, and it's not looking like 6 inches to me. This top of floor is 4. I think we are slightly off in the subfloor pour, which will only compound problems as we go up the walls. Depending upon where you're looking on this mark, because there's a couple of them, it's still too short. I need to call the mother. And the reason it's so important is because next we have built-in cabinets. Within the plans, Frank often included the furniture. And those built-in cabinets are a certain height. They're in the plan, they're spec'd out. They go right up to the windows. So if I'm off, you know, ½ inch here, 1 inch here, I get to my window and all of a sudden my cabinet comes up into the window. So it all builds upon itself. We need 3 3/4 inches for the air floor. And we need 1 inch for the concrete. So we need 4 3/4 inches on top of this floor. So that's 4 3/4.
Yeah.
Right on the number. But this one, that's 4 1/2. That's too short. How did they get it wrong?
But when you were out here on Friday and you felt comfortable leaving this as it was.
That's because I was down there. You couldn't walk down here. It was
I
wet.
know. So how are you
Down there, it was right.
So there's nothing that can be done about that at this point. You have to accommodate it some other way. So how do you do that?
Well, you can't make the air floor smaller. You can't make 1 inch of concrete smaller. It has to have 1 inch of concrete or it'll crack. You can't make a cabinet smaller. I mean, you can, but I'm not making a cabinet 1/4 inch smaller.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
But it's still not right.
There is no house that is perfect. There is no house that follows the plan per the millimeter. None.
Why?
Because they can't. You have people doing this. They just can't.
I don't like changing the dimensions of the cabinets, but it's okay. It's just a 1/4 inch. We've gone through all the options, and that's where we've landed. I trust my mom, and I respect her opinions. I feel responsible for it. I don't know how I could have done it differently, but it's still my job. We are struggling with many issues. One of them is our long metal roof. I want to make sure that the house is authentic, but I also want to make sure it doesn't leak. And most of Mr. Wright's roofs are known to leak. It's just something that's known.
The self-avowed egotist, Wright puts on a good show, overseeing the construction of a house or telling a client who complains of a leaking roof, move your chair.
People would refer to their roofs as the amount of buckets they had to catch all the leaks. And here we do it by bowls. We have gotten up to 3 bowls at once for our leaky roof in Penfield House. So we would like, again, no bowls, no buckets at River Rock. So for River Rock, we have a 164-foot long metal roof that is sloped, which is unlike the Penfield design. The Penfield is flat.
Normal metal roofs, the ribs where they're conjoined in the panels are vertical. On our house, they run horizontally.
And that detail can catch water, or in the winter, can allow water to freeze there. That's the most detrimental thing, because that could then lead to like pitting of the metal. And if it's not protected, it can get damaged and start leaking. So we asked Rob, our coordinating architect, to research and see if he could find some alternative roofing systems that's guaranteed to not leak, that will give us that security for the home, and as well as meeting the color of the roof, because I think that's more important than necessarily sticking with metal. Watch out, Mom. Oh, wow.
Let's go around there.
So you just threw this together on Monday night.
I could either watch TV or do this, so I did this.
He's ready to show you the Kemper.
We have an option, and it's called Kemper, and it's a roll-on waterproof system that's guaranteed. There's an extended warranty on it, and our thought is that we can build the triangular seams that run along the roof with wood, and then put the Kemper over the top of that. Having a warranty of some kind for this massive 164-foot long roof would definitely help me sleep better at night.
Here it comes.
One of the things that we want to look at with this material, right,
Right.
it doesn't look like painted metal. It's got a weird, like almost sandy, grainy texture. And the rep assured me that we can fix that with additional coats. So I want to apply that to here so that we can make sure that what it looks like is what we want. If we can get the texture that we want and the aesthetic of the ribs that we want, then maybe that's the way to go. But we're exploring options.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
this is
of
about,
course.
is to see what the best material is for the job.
This Kemper product is not what's in the spec book. Yes, it gives us all these great things, but if we want to be authentic, people will see it. It's one of the first things they see about the house. But we really don't want a leaky roof.
Pretty color.
Yeah, this is the patina copper. This is almost to the turquoise.
Yeah.
It would just need a little bit more blue.
If it ever does leak, Sarah is learning how to do this so she can fix it herself.
Because she's going to be up on the roof.
Calling Rob.
That is the other thing though that's good about this material. If there is a leak, you just go up there and put a little bit more on.
Right.
Instead of replacing
Yeah.
or patching something that's metal. You can kind of see that texture coming through,
Right.
right? That would-
Yeah, now you can for sure.
Yeah. And I'll recoat it as many times as it takes to
and
get
count-
it
yeah,
to be
keep an
smooth.
inventory.
Keep an inventory, right? And then we'll show you the finished product
Cool.
when it's done.
Yeah.
All right?
Sounds great.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
It wasn't called out in the spec book as being a Kemper roof. It wasn't even around back then. So we still have the question of whether or not we're going to use it.
I'm not a big fan of this Kemper. To me, it doesn't look like you could fabricate it enough to look like a real metal roof.
We have to wait until it dries to make that decision. They've given us quite a bit to think about. We still have to figure out if we want to stick with the materials that are called out in the spec book and be 100% authentic. Unfortunately, we can't talk to Frank Lloyd Wright. We can't ask his opinion on Kemper, you know?
Hey, nice to see you.
Good to see you
too.
I can't wait for this conversation.
So we're going to meet with Ashley Mendelson, a former Guggenheim assistant curator.
Hi, good
Nice
to
to
see
meet
you.
Because the Guggenheim was started when he was alive, but it wasn't finished. And there's a lot of correspondence with regards to that because Frank wasn't there to help make decisions.
The Guggenheim Museum in New York is a great conversation point for us because it was on his desk when River Rock was on his desk.
Right.
You know, they were
Yeah.
ultimately conversations happening at the same time.
Oh, that's awesome.
This building was commissioned in 1943,
Okay.
and it wasn't actually done until 1959. It's a 16-year period,
Oh, wow.
a few months after Frank Lloyd Wright's death. So he died in
Okay.
April of 59. Museum opened in October of 59. So of course they were making decisions after his death as they had to finish the building.
Right. We are constantly saying, what would he say if we asked him questions? If we're making changes, what is kind of the philosophical thought pattern we should have?
His focus was about a holistic design, every element feeling like a part of the whole. He really thought of buildings as organisms, honestly, just like living, breathing things. And so just like in your body, everything has a place and it's all working together.
I know we've tried to do that. I hope we feel that when we're done.
Yeah.
With the Guggenheim, Wright was really consumed with making this a different kind of art museum, different from rectangular white walls and very kind of stark. And so he wanted it to feel dynamic. Initially, you might have seen drawings of the Guggenheim in different colors, rendering the building in different marble tones, pink, blue, orange. And there was conflict between Wright and all of the powers at play on the Guggenheim side about the color. Wright really imagined buff for spatial continuity in every way possible, and so all of the walls were meant to be that color. There's a funny correspondence to Harry Guggenheim where he's very upset that the Guggenheim director, Sweeney, was really wanting white walls. So he says, you know, Sweeney has whitewashed old buildings as he has whitewashed his own home, would not only thus cheapen the character of the thing, but actually destroy the virtue and beauty of the building. And so I love reading this to kind of get insight into these conversations, but also see how passionate Wright was as he was really pushing for what he thought was so integral to the character of the building. But then you know that the Guggenheim, when it opened, had a white painted interior. Whether it was the general contractor or the client themselves, a lot of people need to come in and think about what makes the most sense. It's not just Frank Lloyd Wright, the genius, who we're kind of putting on a pedestal like the building is a monument to. It's just like, that was a big team in his office and the general contractor, everyone involved. And you're part of a long legacy of women who have interacted with Wright in a professional way.
Did he work with them well, or was he, you know, a guy of the times?
He really respected women in the field at a time when women weren't necessarily fully respected. I mean, Marion Mahoney Griffin was, you know, one of the first women that was licensed globally. She was his first employee. You know, that was a time when not every architect was doing that. It wasn't only women who worked for him or came to learn at Taliesin, but it was also really strong female clients. Like every architect, Frank Lloyd Wright respected a knowledgeable client.
Yeah. With all of this conversation, I think we've gone down the right path of how we have come to those decisions. Don't you? Feel
For the most part, yeah.
But I feel more comfortable in our thought process of how we got there.
After
knowing-
talking to her.
Yeah. So after we met with Ashley, I feel a little bit more comfortable if we went with the Kemper product, that it wouldn't be a wrong decision, but I still want to be authentic. This journey so far, we've met so many experts that have helped us answer the what would Frank do questions. And I think that if we had gone with any general contracting company, they wouldn't have gone through the same journey. They wouldn't have the same knowledge base that we now have with regards to what would Frank do. After talking with Ashley, and she went through some of the changes that happened at the Guggenheim Museum, I feel like we have a better way of going about what Frank would do. Because the roof is such a substantial eyepiece and it's so big, it would be nice to be able to stick to metal if we can. But with the Kemper product on the roof, the house is still going to be authentic in the end. So we're just going to have to wait and see what it looks like when it dries. Hey, the guys are here.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay. So, as you'll recall,
Yep.
we did one coat in the driveway there at Joe's office, and then I took this home and put another couple of coats on it to get it smooth.
Right.
So this could give us the aesthetic at least without
Right.
being the metal material
Right.
that the spec calls for. I think as an alternative, this could work.
I hate the Kemper roof. I really do.
What would your aversion be? Is it being the purest to the...
Yes.
We're trying to make it as authentic as possible.
I was looking into some stuff, and I do have a little surprise for you.
Okay.
Love
Been
surprises.
talking to
No, you don't.
Vince's,
Yes, I
Vince's metal
do.
guy, the metal roofing
Yes.
guy.
Okay.
And we can do this profile
gosh.
with a warranty. So let's just set it, swing your end around that way.
Yeah.
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 There you go. So that's sort of the angle of the roof. The metal roofing guy said this would be a waterproof roof. Like,
Okay.
you know, they would want to do ice and water guard under this entire roof, and that
Oh,
would be
yeah.
more the
Right.
roof,
Waterproofing.
the waterproofing layers. It's got like a 25-year warranty. I mean, it's very durable. This is also one of their standard colors, but they said this is a big enough job that they can custom match.
Right.
So this is our Waterbury green
Holy
color.
crap, that's so close.
It's a little lighter. There's a little more blue in it.
If we can do this, I like this 1,000 times better.
Yes,
Okay.
me too. I'm shocked and thrilled all at the same time. It's almost an exact match to the color swatch, and it was just an easy, like, there goes the Kemper. In comes the metal.
Good job, Rob. Good job, Rob.
We did that terribly.
I think we did.
We'll have to practice that a little better. Frank Lloyd Wright designed over 300 houses in the Midwest, and 8 of them are within 3 hours of both Penfield House and River Rock. So our team, we're gonna go look at one of them, which is Kentuck Knob. Kentuck Knob is very similar to River Rock. The rock is similar, the large metal roof. There's a very interesting detail in River Rock. The Juliet balcony in the primary bedroom where glass falls into and disappears within the stone. And Kentuck Knob has the same feature. And as much detail as we get from Frank Lloyd Wright's plans and spec book, we don't get any detail on how to build this one particular detail. So being able to look at how the glass falls into the stone will be very helpful.
So back in the 1950s, when Wright designed this house for the Hagans, he had spent the majority of his career developing his own style of architecture, creating a harmony between people and nature. Wright was 86 years old at the time. It's actually one of the busiest points in his career.
So this was 1954, you said?
Yes, took about 2 years to build the house.
Okay, because we have the Penfield House in Willoughby Hills, which is right in the same time frame. And then the River Rock House, which is 59. So we've been wanting to look at a handful of things. The stone is very similar.
All the stone you see, called Pottsville sandstone, the Hagans actually found several enormous boulders of it on another part of their property, and they decided to use that to build the house.
So all of this rock came from those boulders?
Correct. They had a team of workmen break it all up into manageable pieces. They brought it all up here to the job site where a father and son team of stonemasons did all the stonework.
How long did it take them?
About a year.
Oh, wow.
Once the project was complete, the son hung up his tools, he became a car salesman.
But you notice that the bump outs, there's a lot of variety.
Yeah.
I think what I want to do is like get pictures of the wall sort of flat, and then I can kind of trace over like this stone's pulled out this far, you know, and get a similar pattern with our stone.
I wonder if there is a reoccurring pattern.
It's supposed to be random, and it looks pretty random.
The house is so linear in design, so the striation in the rock needs to come out and look at you. It can't just be a bland, blonde-looking rock. It's going to be interesting to find a mix of rocks that does that without looking like a jumbled mess.
Well, there were some details that weren't in the drawings.
The way your windows go into the stone on the sides there.
And then they just set the glass in there and mortared right up to it, it looks like.
Are there any issues with that, with the expansion of the seasons?
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Mm-hmm. This one's been here for a while, so that is cool.
We got the red tile. Here it is, the coveted red tile.
Well, starting in 1951, Frank Lloyd Wright would send these tiles out to a project completed to his specifications. Wright would send an apprentice out to install that for you for a small fee.
Right.
I believe the Hagens paid about $1,200 for that,
That's
which is a lot of money back then.
Why red?
Red was Wright's favorite color.
Okay.
His signature color. He called it Cherokee red. Folks ready to go inside?
Oh, wow.
Wow, this is awesome.
Wright uses the same building materials inside and outside the house as another part of this organic architecture. He wants to create as seamless a transition as possible from inside to outside.
Okay, what's going on over here?
Frank Lloyd Wright is not going to just pop a small window into the wall. He created what we call an invisible window. There's no frame on it at all. Glass is just mitered into stone, right up into the wood of the ceiling. Feel free to take a walk all the way down to the end if you'd like.
Now we understand how the glass is going to connect into the stone, and we can go pick out our stone. At Kentuck Knob, one thing that's very different from our house is that they were able to quarry all the stone on the property. So the challenge is going to be, we want to keep the same coloring, but stick to the spec book. Big tree, very close to house. We are headed out to Van Ness Stone to meet our team to pick out our stone for River Rock.
To stay on track, we need to get some stone ordered, and it takes a while for it to be quarried, cut, and brought to us.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, there they are.
Back in the 30s, 40s, whatever, they had the luxury of maybe having an abundance of stone where they could hand pick all these pieces that they wanted for the length, the height, and all that. Nowadays, we can't go into the rivers here from government regulations, but we've sourced product over the last 30 years. So this is actually river stone, but I think this probably fits in the scale of what Frank Lloyd Wright
That's getting
might have
pretty
wanted.
close. Yeah,
Very close,
I mean,
yeah.
You have to get a regional or a local stone. That's in the spec book. For as many inches as is tall, it has to be a minimum of 5 times the length. So if it's 1 inch, it has to be a minimum of 5 inches long. If it's 4 inches, it's got to be a minimum of 20 inches long. And it's 8 inches deep, which means our masons will hate us because it's going to be very heavy to lift some of those bigger pieces.
Even this, though, is probably not, if that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
so
you
we
have to
need
go
another
5.
at least 1.
Right, and he was very specific on his heights and length.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a product that we can do that
You
without,
can.
without a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. These are,
They're too light.
there's a bit more buff color in them than
Yeah, we
than what
need
we
as
have
much
here.
variation as we can get, I think, don't
I
you?
think, yeah, it
Yeah.
adds interest to the wall, too, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
While we're at the stone yard, we could easily see that just the dimensions weren't going to match up if we stuck with one color.
Or one palette.
One palette, yeah.
So this is our Indian Creek blend.
Okay.
See the darker tones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can call that out to be, let's say, 2-inch thickness up to 6-inch, and then the length, you know. So if you want some darker tones, they would just put that face out.
Gotcha.
Okay, if you want lighter tones, they put that face out.
That's pretty, too.
Yeah, I like that. So in order to get enough of the various dimensions needed, we're going with a blend.
The main part of the blend would be the Indian Creek, and then we would add some of the Meadow Ridge. With the dark tone, you know, you lay it up with the lighter tone, some of the dark ledge.
Yep. We are going to be ordering approximately 220 tons of stone, which if we had it delivered all at once would be 2 football fields. So it won't be coming all at once. That's our stone. Yay!
That
We
was
got the
simple.
stone.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Don't forget that Frank Lloyd Wright discount. The masons are going to have to be artistic in themselves in order to line it up and have it look beautiful. And we'll have to take little trips out there and look at it and say, yeah, that looks great.
Or nope. Do it again. better be the right ones. Don't get stuck. Ooh, I see lots of long ones, long skinny ones.
He's not going to hit the corner of the house, is he?
No, he can go under it. Yeah, he's fine. These are the ones that I think you can chisel, so you can see lines in them. The mason should be able to just kind of knock it pretty lightly, and it's supposed to split all the way down. So they can make these a lot thinner. Wow, they did that fast.
Looks much better on the wall than it does stacked.
It looks amazing on the wall as opposed to just stacked.
You happy?
I am so happy, Gary. You did a good job. Everybody kept saying, he's all right.
Don't trust me?
He's all right. So far, the only one that's wrong is that square right there. That stone is off a spec. That's a square. We can't have squares.
Correct.
For every 1 inch we go this way, we got to go 5 or 6 that. So if you go 2, you got to go 10.
You still got to use the small
No,
stuff
you don't have
up.
to use these. We'll use these on something else. These are good. These are good. Just keep it in mind that if it's 1 inch, it's 5 inches. If it's 2 inches, it's 10 inches. At least. You can go longer.
Right.
This guy is 3. That'd have to be 15. It's only 12. We just have to keep track of the length and the height.
Okay.
This is the art. You know, this is the design. This is the hardest part to really replicate his vision, I think. I still don't feel comfortable being a general contractor on this build. Like, who am I? I do computer stuff, and you're retired.
Yeah.
But I am still marveling a bit that we're doing this. Like, that's just crazy.
It is crazy.
In that structural dispensation, a great many features arose. Perhaps the most important one was floor heat. Where the heat is in the floor beneath the slab, you can open the windows and still be comfortable, and the children play on a nice warm surface. And if your feet warm and you sit warm, you're warm.
Mr. Wright was inspired by the Korean air floor system, which is ondol, which translates to heated stone or warm stone. Mr. Wright was in Japan working on the Imperial Hotel, and he was having dinner with one of the investors. And they moved from a cool area of the house into what was called the Korean room, which was quite warm. So while he was in that Korean room, he didn't see any kind of air conditioning or heating system going on, but all of a sudden he felt warmth around him, and he started asking questions about where the heat was coming from. He decided at that point that he was going to add that heated radiant floor system into the bathrooms of the Imperial Hotel. And then when he returned to America, he started putting those systems into residential homes and commercial buildings. And that is what we're doing for River Rock. We have poured the subfloor, and we installed the air floor system. And then we're going to pour the famous Frank Lloyd Wright red concrete floor on top of that.
The air floor is a forced air in-floor heating system. The hot air heats up and actually radiates through the concrete.
While our masons are still here working, we have 2 cement trucks coming with that red concrete for us to pour.
Oh, yes, here it comes. Oh, they dump it up there.
In the original spec book, it called for this red floor. Obviously, over time, that formulas have changed and such, so we're just trying to match up the color as close as we can. What's sitting next to me is the color that is double bagged, and what they'll do is take the first bag off, and then they just chuck the whole other part in, and it mixes up and disintegrates and becomes beautiful red concrete for us to pour. I got it. I don't mind. I don't mind.
All right.
My mom makes me work.
It better go well. That's all I say, because it's a pretty expensive process to not go well and turn out pink or orange.
If it turned out pink, I would die. I am such a nervous Nelly about this one thing. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like doom is going to happen.
When you think that way, it might.
I know, but I don't normally get so nervous. And that's why I feel like something's gonna go wrong, because this part has to be perfect.
There it goes. It's going, Sarah.
Oh man, now I got a song in my head.
Well, don't sing it, I'll get it in mine.
Here comes the floor, do-do-do-do. Here comes the floor. And I said, it's all right. The perfection has to be where it comes to in the building, and it has to be the right color.
We have enough?
We have to have enough.
No.
That's why you hire professionals to figure that
The
out.
professionals didn't think they brought enough concrete.
What do you think? Do you think they did?
How much more do you need? We're a yard short.
Because sometimes those guys pull your leg.
There should be no leg pulling on the day that we're pouring the concrete, which is the most nerve-wracking thing to me, especially the red concrete. Who did the maths?
I don't know.
We are trying to finish this first floor, and that is literally all the concrete we have left for today.
I mean, it's kind of a big deal too, because especially with the colored stuff,
right?
You want to make sure, like this was all mixed at one time, this
right,
the same amount, all one color. You don't want this spot right in front of the door
to be a little bit different
color. They had to go mix some more up. Man, this is. Holy cow.
Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, 2 strikes, bases loaded.
Always getting the last little bit in there. Thank God, they got enough to finish. Make sure it's nice and level. I don't want to see any balls rolling down the floor. They're gonna make it.
That is crazy. Crazy close. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
you like the color?
Is much better. I don't know, it's not dry yet.
True. And I swear sometimes Frank Lloyd Wright is here taking care of things that seem like they're not going to get taken care of in so many different ways. And so that's awesome too. But the concrete's in. It looks, I think, amazing. Super excited about the color. It's the first time we're doing finished stuff. So it's all been really important, but it just keeps piling on of importance. You know what I mean? Today,
we're getting the roof installed. Having the roof on there, it just kind of makes it almost done. Even though we're not even halfway done, it feels like we're almost done.
It's just one of those monumental phases that you're like, check, done. But as soon as you're excited about the one thing being done, you're like, next. It's a little bit overwhelming.
Coming. Hi, honey.
Hi, Mother. So I put some water down on the floor so we could see the color better, because it's so dusty. Do you like the color?
Yeah.
And then I
don't have a choice at this point.
Well, yeah, we don't have a choice, but you know, you could be like, eh. But I actually am like, yeah.
So this little guy here is the one that we matched to the Penfield floor, which is a little brighter, a little orange, but this is the falling water red. And I mean, it's right on.
It's almost exact
It's
same color.
Real close. I couldn't be happier about the red floor, actually.
Yeah.
Stand it up against the wall, and then you'll really see.
Against the woods. I'm happy. The color definitely goes with the wood and the stone. Just in my own head, it was always like, match it, match it, match it, you know? But Mom kept telling me, you know, you need to let some of that go. It's a different house. It's not the Penfield house. It's not Falling Water. It's River Rock house. And I'm starting to let some of that go in regards to being so precise to what was called out in the spec book. It's starting to feel more like our house instead of Lewis's house.
Good job, kids.
Yeah. I believe there's no more rewarding effort in life than just trying to make what you do, how you do it, beautiful.
So the other day we had the red floor poured, and then we had a meeting, and by the time we were done with that meeting, they had already cut the grid lines in. Since the whole house is on a 4-foot grid, they actually take a concrete cutter and cut that into the concrete floor. So the floor will match the mullions on this 4-foot grid, which will match certain end parts of walls and cabinets. So it's all a cohesive pattern throughout the house.
We have a problem.
What's the matter?
We have an issue with the grid that is cut into the floor, does not align with the brackets for the mullions.
So what's right, the line or the bracket?
Looks to me like the grid cut into the concrete is correct.
Okay.
Which I guess is good because that's the more permanent thing. Because it hits where it should on the walls, you know, and all
And
the way
in the
across,
corners.
and in the corners, and everywhere that it's supposed to hit on the plans, the grid hits.
Okay.
What's not right is the doubled 2x rafters. The rafters are on the 4x4 grid as well. And
They're
the
not.
whole grid of the rafters is over maybe
2 inches.
it's probably closer to 3.5 inches.
Where did
Where
it
it should
start
be.
wrong?
Where he started the rafters, probably. What he did, which seemed right, he split the point on the back side of the living room,
Okay.
halfway between rafters.
This side?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then went 4 foot
Okay.
center.
Right.
I'm not sure how it ended up that our grid is off from that, but it is.
Okay.
There's not an easy fix. Yeah. So, I think there is a fix. It's gonna involve, unfortunately, him moving all of the brackets that he has in.
Is it possible?
Yeah. We can move these bolts over 2 inches without cracking this stone. And then, up here, because the mullion has to support the rafter, we're gonna have to sister another piece of 2x12 onto each of these.
All the way
maybe
across?
All the way across, from the ridge beam to the fascia board.
It's very frustrating because it could impact time, it could impact money. It's important in the detail to get this right. The grid lines don't line up with the mullions, and we just have to get it fixed.
It has to be done.
It has to
I mean,
be done.
unless
Yeah.
we don't align the mullions with the grid, which
No, we
would
have
be
to do that.
Bad, right?
No, we have to do that. This whole thing is about a 4-foot grid.
Right.
It is all about space
Right.
and lines and air, and you can't have lines going where there's supposed to be air.
Right.
It just doesn't go with the philosophy.
Yeah.
We have to get that done as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So as far as glass goes,
Right.
they still have to field measure, but they've done it off the plan, with which is the grid,
Yeah.
which means we
Right.
are correcting their problem
Right.
by correcting this problem,
Right.
if they had a problem.
I wonder if this house will make us all live 100 years longer.
In the meantime, it's killing me.
Whenever you build anything, I don't care if it's a house, a car, whatever, you make mistakes trying to fit your pieces together. So it's a process we have to go through, finding where there might be a slight error and readjusting. If the mullions had been initiated, it would have been a big deal.
We've had these piles of rocks.
Rocks that Lewis had collected through time from down on the river.
And we've decided that we'll do the hearth with the rock that Lewis dragged out of the river. There's a section lined out in the plan of flagstone or fieldstone to use in the hearth, so it seems like it should be different also.
Where's my helper?
They're so soft because they've been rushed with the water. They're not rough like the exterior stone is. It will actually soften that room through the top of the fireplace. You feel the history just by touching.
Let's collect some rocks.
We don't have enough here.
I think we do.
No.
We just have to dig for them.
Some of these I can't even lift.
I can get those. I'm sure Paul participated in this with his father as well, much probably didn't want to half the time because they were literally lugging them in sacks and wheelbarrows from the river. But taking that to another almost generation and family, to be able to do that with my mom is awesome. Like, it feels right without the W and with the W.
Let's just get 2 more rocks and be done for today. And
Okay.
I found the best one.
I don't think so.
I did. This is a perfect one.
That's not perfect. Ugh. Ow, foot. I think I broke my foot.
You're all right. Shake it off.
Get in your truck. Let's
No
go.
back talk.
What?
No back talk.
I didn't. I said, let's go.
Get in the truck.
Are you going first or am I?
I always go first.
Get on it then. Since the beginning of spring, we've gotten the red floors poured, rock put on the building inside and out, and we have our beautiful turquoise metal roof mostly installed. It's been quite a spring. Learned a lot, had a lot of panic attacks, but we're ready to move on to our next phases. Summer's gonna bring windows, glass, mullions, doors, furniture, cabinets, and we get to put the appliances in.
Oh, I can't wait.
I love the appliance part. That means we're almost done. We are building a Frank Lloyd Wright design from 1959. So we're about to start shopping for the things in the house.
This is mid-century modern all the way.
It's officially time to add our own personal touches to it. Dude, we're just completely opposite here.
Yes, we are. Do you remember the 50s?
Every time we think we're going forward, we step back.
We are behind schedule.
Obviously, we're trying to go for the authentic. I have not found that particular sink anywhere yet. This house has, throughout this build, started to feel like ours. It's bigger than us, right here.
It is bigger than us.